Hello there, everybody, and today for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we are reviewing Meet Casey Jones. So, when we reviewed the first Casey Jones episode in the 2012 show, that episode was really good, but also this episode is really good because of how faithful it is to the Raphael miniseries comic at the time. I think it was like a one-shot where they do introduce Casey Jones, or after Raph goes way too far when training and he meets Casey Jones, who is also a bigger hothead than Raphael. That's basically this episode as well. It's where, while fighting Mikey, he takes it a little too far, where he literally grabs a pipe and literally is about to smash Mikey's head with it. But Leo tells him to stop. And Splinter tells him how anger is the worst weapon to have or something. But Raph was like, I don't know what came over me. And so he leaves the sewer to blow off some steam. But that's where he meets a hockey-looking dude named Casey Jones. So Casey Jones in this show, I actually really do like him in this show. I feel like this is the most accurate-looking Casey Jones. This is what I think of when I think of Casey Jones. Like a tough guy with a skull mask who uses a bunch of equipment and just goes crazy on criminals. I do like the 2012 one, but some people are taken aback by that one being a teenager. But I don't know. This one is like an adult, so that's what I can at least respect about this one. It definitely looks like Casey Jones for sure, but mainly Casey is going after the Purple Dragons because he has some history with them, is because Casey's dad was killed by Hun because they didn't pay Hun and the Purple Dragons protection money, and so Hun just burnt his whole house down while Casey was just a little boy, and so he's out for revenge, and he witnesses a mugging, and he almost takes it a little too far with the mugging until Raphael shows up, and the two have a quarrel over it, and the two fight, just like in the movie and that comic of the same name. So it's quite entertaining. But while that's all going on, the Ninja Turtles are trying to just do their thing, but Donnie is working on experiments while Mikey's trying to pitch him an idea of basically a shell raiser, but it's called the Turtle Wagon or van or whatever you want to call it. But Donnie is just like, no, we can't do it because it's just too expensive, or there's no room for it. But it all takes a turn when they find a secret room in an elevator in their new lair, and it leads them to a parking garage. But after the fight between Casey and Raph comes back home and tells his brothers that he's sorry for acting too much of his anger. But the Turtles forgive him, of course. But they do find the parking garage, and they decide to get to work on the turtle van in this show. So yeah, the turtle van in this show is quite good. I think it looks creatively fun in this version of the show. I do like the shell raiser a little bit more. Maybe that's just because of nostalgia. But it definitely looks like something you'd use. It definitely looks like a toy, but even though they probably did make a toy version of this, since I'm not really too familiar with the toy line of this version of the show. But the Turtles use their van to go out on patrol to stop some Purple Dragons. But while Casey escaped Raph earlier in the fight when he uses his motorcycle to get at her, Raph decides to follow him behind again, and he ends up helping Casey by convincing him that they need to work together. But Casey at first was like, no, but then he decides to work it out after they are surrounded by Purple Dragons. But yeah, the other brothers show up in the nick of time, and it leads to a battle between them and the Purple Dragons. And I think the day is saved, where the Turtles and Casey Jones are now close friends. And that's what we're going to see throughout this show, a start of a beautiful bond. So I think that's this episode. So this episode was actually really good. It was pretty simple, straightforward. I do like I said, it's faithful to the Raphael comic at the time. And it just shows that these writers do appreciate the Mirage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books, while also twisting it with their own ideas and storylines in this full-fledged show. But the voice actor, Casey Jones, I forget his name, but he's really good as Casey Jones. He definitely just sounds like him, like a crazy dude, but also a good friend at heart. So he's definitely got that teddy bear friendship with the Turtles. Like, he's just a good guy overall, but also still being a hothead, more hot-headed than Raphael, and that's what makes their dynamic really good in this show. I always complained in the 2012 show how Casey and Raph's relationship could have been explored more, since they were way too focused on the romantic aspect of Casey and Donnie. But in this show, it's just like they're all best friends in this show. No romantic attachments to them at all, I'm pretty sure, besides Casey and April, of course. But we'll get to that as the show goes on. So I'll probably give this episode probably an 8 out of 10. So I don't know what the next episode's going to be. We'll just have to wait and see. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power.